Okay.
This is us right after finding out that Narissa has triplets inside her tummy. I still don't know what to think.
So, I got pregnant when I had my IUD in.
A copper IUD.
Copper IUD, which is rare to get pregnant
Very rare.
on your copper IUD. So we were worried that it would be a pregnancy outside of the uterus, which would be fatal to me. So that's why we came to the hospital, because we were like, we need to figure this out. Ow.
Yeah, the earlier you catch it, the better, because I was reading about it, and
Yeah.
if you catch it early enough, if it starts to grow, that's when it can tear up your fallopian tube and you can die from blood loss.
Dang, that's bad.
But like, if you catch it early enough, you can take medicine and then it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that we came early, you know.
Yeah.
Like, in the event that would have happened, but it was something very different.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we're pregnant
Crazy. I still don't know what to think.
with 3 little heartbeats. This is just 2 rare occasions.
Crazy.
2 very rare.
Very rare.
Anyway, that is today, February 7th, 2020.
I know, we'll see when the due date is and everything, so.
Yep. Bye. Hey everyone.
Hello, hello.
So I'm Narissa,
I'm Zach.
and we just wanted to share our story with you guys about getting pregnant while on an IUD.
I know, you think those things are foolproof.
Yeah.
You know, getting pregnant is one thing, but getting pregnant with triplets is another thing, which is actually what we're expecting in August.
Yep. So there are currently 3 babies.
That's right. Let's see a side profile.
Oh my.
Look at this. Look at this.
Here we go.
15 and a half weeks in the oven. 3 of them, 3 for 1.
Oh man, yeah. So we're expecting our triplets, and it's just crazy because it's not what we expected.
Nope.
We actually just got married like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it is as crazy as it is super exciting, but I guess, you know, getting married back in October, Narissa got her IUD in, and we were like, cool, not gonna have kids for a year. Kids was on the roadmap, but like,
Yeah.
not for like a year or 2, you know?
Yeah, we knew eventually we wanted to have kids. Our plan was like 1.5 years, 2 years maybe. But God has different plans.
Sometimes there's some divine intervention in this. So then we moved, actually, I took a job in Seattle, and we moved from Utah to Seattle, and that was back in February, and like the day after we moved here is when we found out that Marissa was pregnant.
Yes, crazy. Yeah, so I kind of suspected that I was pregnant, but at the same time, I was like, no, like there's no way that I'm pregnant because I have my IUD in. A little more information about the IUD, it's actually a copper IUD, and that's supposed to be good for, I don't
5
know.
to 10 years.
Yeah.
99.9% effective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had my doubts, but at the same time I was like, and I started feeling it while we were in Mexico in January. So for me, like the signs were like my boobs were just like getting swollen and they wouldn't go down. Like, so that's normally for me, that's a sign of like my period, you know, and my period didn't come and they were still there. So I was like, okay, like they're swollen. Also in Mexico, I started having to go to the bathroom all the time. Like I had to pee all the time. And I was like, what is going on? So that was really another like hint at like, okay, like I could possibly be pregnant, but no way. The day after we moved in to Seattle, I was like, I need to get my IUD checked out because like I can't feel the strings. And I don't know, maybe it's not even in there anymore, or like maybe it's misplaced. So I was like freaking out more about the IUD than like anything else really. We actually didn't have health insurance at the time. because Zach hadn't started his job yet, and so we were kind of in a weird, like,
weird in between.
Yeah, weird in between place, and so we were like, all right, like, well, we need to get my IUD checked out, so let's just go back to where I got it in the first place. I actually got my IUD placed at Planned Parenthood. So I ended up taking a test that day before we ended up going to Planned Parenthood.
She peed on the sticks, and sure enough, she was pregnant, and I was like, all right, well, knowing that, like, if you get pregnant with an IUD, it could lead to an ectopic pregnancy, which is essentially like when the egg formulates outside of the uterus, which can be very dangerous. Let's just take this step by step. Let's go to the doctor. Let's get this checked out.
So we went there, and I told them, okay, well, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant, but I have my IUD, and so I don't know how that works or what's going on. The nurse was like, well, she's like, well, let's confirm that you're pregnant. And I was like, okay, because she said sometimes people will take tests at home and it says positive, but they'll confirm it through like a urine sample at the clinic, and you know, sometimes it's a negative. So she came back and she's like, all right, she's like, well, you're right, you are pregnant. I was just like, okay, all right, cool. And I think some people ask like how we felt, you know, like when we found out that we were pregnant, but like I feel like it was hard because I couldn't allow myself to be happy. Like we couldn't have the the luxury of being happy because we knew that I had my IUD in, and we had no idea how that would affect the pregnancy, or if we could even have the baby, because it could be an ectopic pregnancy like outside of my uterus.
And they didn't have like an ultrasound machine at the clinic, so it's like, okay, there's no way we can know. And they were like, hey, this is really life-threatening, this is really dangerous, but we don't have like an appointment till next like week, so this is life-threatening, but we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, no,
Yeah.
we need to figure this out now, you know.
We like looked everywhere, like to see if there was some place that would take us like without insurance, or like what we could possibly do. We called places.
Mind you, this was like 3 p.m. on Friday, so
Yeah.
trying to get in the doctor's office like with an hour or two to spare on a Friday, I was trying to go to the weekend, was like quite the hassle.
We actually ended up going to the ER. Like I was kind of like, like I don't know, you know, bills, right? Money. And you know, Zach was really sweet, and he was just like, listen. What'd you say?
Listen, is what I said. If it comes a big fat bill or the alternative, I'll stick with a big fat bill. So we decided to go to the emergency room. We get there, they check us in. They're really nice and everything, and she got in her little gown and everything, and they did some blood tests, and they were like, okay, well, according to the calendar, it'd be about 6.5 weeks that you'd be pregnant and everything. And the nurse practitioner comes in and she's like, okay, it's pretty early, so you probably, very likely that you won't see anything when we do the ultrasound. So I'm not trying to get your hopes up, but you may have to come back, and so we'll just let you know. And I was like, okay, all right. So did some blood tests and everything, and then it was time to go to the ultrasound machine. Mind you, this has been a long day from noon all the way to like 8 p.m. So we were both kind of tired, you know, so little sleepy.
He's just
Someone
saying
got a little
that
sleepy
because he fell asleep during the ultrasound.
Well, it was dark and like the lighting was down, you know, and she was quiet. Anyways.
Oh my.
Just saying.
So we go in, and the lady is like checking my
Ultrasound tech.
Yeah, the ultrasound tech was like moving the little, I don't know what it's called.
The wand.
The wand? I don't know. She
Magic
was
wand.
moving the little ultrasound thing on my belly. She was quiet for a very long time, and she finally like turns the screen around, and
I woke up at this time.
yeah, okay.
I was awake.
Half awake.
I was awake.
She turned the screen, and she showed us, because he was awake. She showed us the heartbeat, and because you could see it like pulsing on the screen. She's like, you see that little like flicker? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, that's a heartbeat, and it's in the uterus.
We were like, oh.
And we're like,
praise.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some information.
Babies in the uterus. Okay, we cool. No ectopic pregnancy. All right.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, we're having a baby. Woo!
All right, cool.
Okay.
Baby safe. Where's the safe? All right.
Yeah. And then she like moves the thing. She moves it over and she's like, and do you see that other flickering? I was like, yeah. And she said, that's another heartbeat. And I was like, what? Are you serious? I was like, twins. And she just starts laughing and she like moves it like a little lower and she's like, and that's a third heartbeat. And I was just blown away. I just started cracking up.
Like a machine's like moving, you know?
Yeah.
That little thing.
You
like,
can see the ultrasound. Yeah, so I started cracking up. I was like, are you, what? Like, first the shock that I was pregnant, and then that there were triplets.
yeah.
Like, what? So I'm cracking up, and I turned to see Zach's reaction. I'm like, oh, maybe he's crying. Maybe he's just like really shocked. He was just like, I can't even do his face. Yes, that's exactly it. He was just like that.
I still have that face when I wake up sometimes, but it's like joy and then like, is this really still happening? Are we really still having triplets? But each day the tummy gets bigger and I'm like, yes, this is really happening. It's kind of crazy because after we told people, they're like, man, you got magic sperm or something. You know, like Will Smith, he got the golden sperm, but you know, she could have the golden eggs, you know, so you never know.
Actually, they're identical triplets, so
oh, yeah.
That does mean that it was my aim. But that was our reaction when we found out. And, you know, it was all these feelings just like, oh my goodness, like, I guess overwhelmed and just scared or like confused or just shocked. I don't know, what else would you describe it?
It was pretty crazy, but I was also thinking logistics right away. I was like, okay, well, we have to buy a new car, we may have to move, we gotta save all this money, we gotta buy 3 car seats, we gotta buy all this, we're going from 2 to 5, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be outnumbered, and I was like, this is crazy. We're gonna have to get a stroller that fits 3 of them. I was like...
Yo, yeah, I feel like his mind just went straight to like, okay, this is what we need to do, this is all right, business. Sometimes I just let myself get carried away by my emotions, and Zach's very like, okay, like, let's think about this. Okay, like, you know. So it's great. We balance each other out very well.
It's just crazy, you know, an IUD, you know, it's like 1 in 1,000 chance for getting pregnant, and then like having triplets is like also 1 in 1,000. And then like also having identical triplets makes it even more rare. I don't know what the numbers are there, so, but it just feels like this was, we took the steps that were to prevent pregnancy, but I just feel like, both of us feel like this was divine intervention. This was kind of like meant to be. These babies, whatever they are, girls or boys, we don't know yet, but we'll find out soon. We're just meant to come to Earth right now, you know, so we're really excited about it. A little nervous, but also really excited, so.
Sometimes I feel like I freak out and I'm like, wait, I'm not ready to be a mom, you know, like, and that's how.
But you are. You'll be a great mom.
Thanks. In the ultrasound room, I just remember feeling like at peace about it. It's kind of weird that you can feel both, but I just felt so peaceful knowing and having that faith that like, this is really like what God has planned for us. I know that He knows better than we do. I've seen it time and time again in my life, so it's like, okay, like, these babies are supposed to be here because it's crazy, like Zach said, you know, it's going against so many odds, you know, just so many odds. Like, the IUD, they're triplets, they're identical. Like, what? In the end, we're just, like, really grateful, and I don't know, it's an opportunity for us to grow.
Yeah, we just really feel that this is something really good for us, and we're really excited. We're in a high-risk clinic, you know, naturally, because 3 is a high risk. Any prayers or anything you can offer, we will gladly accept those. So.
Yes, definitely. So that's our story.
So far.
So far. We're planning on just keeping track of this journey and kind of just, I'll be updating you guys on like how my weeks go, how the days go.
The nausea, the cravings.
Yeah. I'll be doing more videos on that. But we just wanted to take this time to share it with you guys, both Zach and I. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. You can leave those in the comments below.
That's right.
Did I wink right? There we go. But yeah, so let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to answer them.
One last look at the belly.
Oh my.
One last look at the belly. 15 and a half weeks.
Yes.
There we go, people.
Wait. Gotta tie this. Okay.
15 and a half weeks, people. Look at these babies. Alright. One for each baby.
One for each baby.
That's right.
Alright, guys. Well, see ya.